Hey, what is up guys? And today we have a preview for the new 5-star unit coming out within a week, and that is going to be the episode 5 character Brieg, who, as you guys can see on your screen here, he looks amazing. His animations are just a reason in itself to pull for him, and his artwork is amazing as well. He kind of reminds me of Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII, if you guys have ever played that game. And his kit just looks pretty fun to use. He's going to be good from what it looks like in both PvE and PvP. So whether you're new to the game or even have been playing for a while, you should be able to use his kit pretty well. So taking a look at his stats very quickly, you can see that he is a Ice Knight. He is going to have pretty high speed for a Knight at 110. It's going to be very tanky, has decent attack. You're also going to see his imprints for both release and concentration will be health, and he does have some effectiveness built into his awakenings, meaning that he will probably or certainly have some debuffs in his kit. Let's actually look at his skills very quickly. So his S2 is going to be a fighting spirit mechanic. First off, you can see that it will give him 50 fighting spirit, so he will use fighting spirit. And then what it does is that it will give a barrier to all allies for 3 turns and perception for himself for 3 turns, and he'll also grant himself an extra turn. And this barrier will scale with his max HP, and for only 10 souls, you can soul burn this to increase the barrier strength. So this is a non-attack skill. This is already going to be countered by units that counter non-attack skills, right? So we have like Celine, even Politis can do very well against this unit right away because using his S2 will proc their S2s, right? Celine's S2 will proc and she'll cut, and Politis' S2 will proc as well, and she'll also cut. Also, units that counter barriers like DJ Bazaar will also do very well into this unit already, because you're going to see that the barrier that this gives, especially when you soul burn it, is very thick. You can see it looks to be about 30% of his max HP, I believe, and it looks pretty strong. Any barrier inversion will do a lot of damage to the team. Next, we have his S3. His S3 is going to be a single target attack that will dispel all buffs before decreasing defense and speed for 2 turns, and the effectiveness of this attack will increase by 50%, and this damage will scale with his max health. So you don't even need to build him on super high effectiveness if you want these debuffs to land, because of the fact that this has built-in effectiveness, and because this strips all buffs. It's very nice, and also it will put a defense break and speed break, so you're going to actually cripple enemies, and this will be very strong against, as you guys can see here, Light Expedition. Light Expedition is very weak against decreased speed, and defense break is also very good for PvE, obviously, because you want to do more damage. And this is the skill with the animation, looks pretty sick, and I think this will actually put him in the slot for the best tank for Ice Expedition now. As you guys can see, this is the standard team for Light Expo. I know I just said Ice, but I meant Light Expo. So for Light Expo, you're going to see that Carmen Rose, Cerise, and Sermia, these are usually the 3 damage dealers you run here. And then you also see now we have Brieg in the front line instead of Fire Cecilia. He used to be the best tank, but I think that Brieg will be the best now because of his AoE barrier and also because of that defense break and speed break. Next, we have his S1, single target attack that will give him 25 fighting spirit. Also will give him a CR push by 20% once you max this out, and also this damage will also scale with his max health. Also, after when you attack when fighting spirit is full, so you get 50 from his S2. You don't get any from his S3, I believe, if we look again. So his S2 will give him 50 fighting spirit, and then his S3 should give him 0, right? So you only get it from his S2, and then you need to use 2 S1s after. You'll actually consume all this fighting spirit to dispel all debuffs from yourself, so it's a full cleanse, and you'll activate your S3 against the enemy with the highest attack. So Limitless Sword Arts is the S3, so basically you'll be able to chain an S1 into an S3 if you have max fighting spirit after you land your attack. So this is going to be very strong against units in PvP especially, and in PvE it's very nice because you'll have a defense break on your S1 as well, because you'll be able to S1 into S3 from the extra effect, making it so that you can apply defense breaks very frequently against this Light Expo boss, which I think you'll be very good in. Next, we have his artifact. So Night exclusive, it is going to be a hit chance buff, so it'll go from 15% to 20%, 15% at plus 15, and then 20% at plus 30. And also when you attack, you will penetrate defense by a flat amount, going from 12% at plus 15 to 16% at plus 30. So this looks pretty strong, honestly. The hit chance is very nice because this is going to work against units that have evasion, and also penetrating defense is going to be insane, and it's not even single target. Usually artifacts like this, or even like penetration set for example, they'll have single target penetration, but this has AoE penetration, so you can use this on units like Fire Charlotte. This will be very, very good on units like Fire Charlotte, and any like damage dealing knight. Honestly, this is going to be super strong. I think this artifact will be a must buy from the Powder of Knowledge shop, because this looks insane for the units that I just mentioned. Even like ML Land, you can probably use this as well if you don't want to run her on Elbrus. So this unit's going to be available from the 7th of September, and he looks pretty good. I think before we look into the combat demo, which I'll show you guys in case you guys don't want to look at the official page, I think this unit will be very good for PvE, especially for Light Expo, and just even for like Wyvern, essentially, because he has 2 defense breaks if you're running a slower team. Because of this S3, and he has 2 debuffs, right? And decreased speed does work against Wyvern, I believe. So he's very, very good. And the fact that he can actually apply 2 defense breaks, like I mentioned, is very good for like Light Exposition. And for PvP, I think he'll be very good into like ML Landy, because ML Landy is pretty weak against decreased defense, honestly. And having that barrier is very nice to actually mitigate the damage. And yeah, pretty strong. Now, obviously, he'll have some counters, though. You want to be very careful about units that can cut him with his S2 being a non-attack skill, like Celine, and also, like I mentioned, Politis as well. And also because he doesn't look like he can really do well against Cleave, because he doesn't really look like an opening unit, to be honest, and he just sits there, and you most likely will not have him on Aureus because he doesn't really have any sustain, but maybe you will because his S2 does give him a barrier, I guess. But he does look pretty weak against faster teams, so you have to be careful. I don't think this unit will be super broken. I think he's just like balanced, pretty good for PvE, and then also usable in PvP. But his artifact, guys, looks pretty insane. I think this artifact is going to be very, very good, so you're definitely going to want to get this artifact. Not limited though, so if you guys don't want to pull for him, you'll have a chance to get him later. He is just a regular unit, I believe, so you won't have to actually stress too much about missing on him. But if you do want him because he looks sick, like his animations look crazy, guys. Like, let's look at it again. Like this animation on his S3 just looks insane. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm gonna pull for him just for his animation alone, because we don't have any, or not any, but we don't have that many cool husbandos with sick animations like this. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video though, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hope you guys are excited for this unit. I'm pretty excited. Definitely want another Light Expo tank. Haha. But yeah, I'm pretty excited because I probably will use him in PvP quite a bit and test him out and show you guys my build on him once he releases. As always, I'm going to show you guys the combat demo again, but the video is essentially over here. Thanks for watching, guys, and consider subscribing if you guys want to see more content like this, and I'll see you guys next time.
To restore balance.
Are you finished fighting? I'll use all my might. Your suffering is self-inflicted. I have no mercy to spare. For your reckless greed.
Are you ready to order? I'll show you the real deal.
Shall we bring this to a close? I'll pierce straight through you.
Are you ready? Greed will only bring you harm. Like this.
I protect. That's what I do.
Let me guide you onto the right path.
You disgust me.
I have zero tolerance for
The queen is here.
Another trial to overcome. Those who stray from the path of righteousness shall be punished.
You'll pay for your crimes.
Are you finished fighting? With each meaningless outburst, you degrade yourself.
I'm not cheap.
With my authority as mediator, I will right what is wrong.
A true knight picks their battles wisely.
Your efforts are futile. Grant me power, Lord Noyas. Your suffering is self-inflicted.
My throne! Ha! My land is threatened! Huh? I'll show you what I can do!
Your efforts are futile. There's nothing more absurd than the arrogance of a fool!
You could try a little harder. I win again.
You'll pay for your crimes!